But you need to understand how the enemy is going to come at you. It's going to taste good. It's going to look good. It's going to feel good. It's going to appeal to all of your senses. He doesn't come looking ugly, right? Like one of you said down there, he was very beautiful. He's going to come
Tiffany.
looking, Tiff. He's going to come looking real pretty. It's going to look like, ooh, this could be, maybe this is God. And when you start thinking that maybe this is God, that's where you have to kind of follow, okay, God, if this is you, I need you to show me. If it's not, I need you to expose this to me. I need you to help me to identify the fruit. I need you to help me identify, because he comes at us in a way that it's a seductive spirit. He seduces. He's seducing. It's very seducing. He wants to seduce you away from the word of God. He wants to seduce you into, oh, it's okay that, right? Like, God never told me to divorce my husband. Never told me to divorce my husband. I will not ever tell you that God said, divorce your husband. He never said that to me. He said I was released, and that was from the season of mourning and grief and going to the next season. I did not know that. But I'm never going to go back and say, God told me to divorce him, because he does not go against his word. God will never go against his word, right? And so, like, it's just specific things we need to be aware of. No guilt, no shame, no condemnation. Just identify the enemy is sneaky, man. It's going to look good. It's going to feel good to your flesh. If it feels good to your flesh, it's probably from the enemy. And that's where we have to really know when our spirit is growing and we can see the difference between this is flesh and this is spirit. This feels so good, but I'm wondering, is this God? But the confusion's trying to come in. Whenever there's any type of confusion, like my husband just read, if there's any kind of confusion, more than likely it's not from God. So don't beat yourself up, but understand God is opening your eyes to greater discernment wherever you're at in your season. And he's helping you to see for yourself how the enemy is going to come. And it's not to make you feel bad about yourself. It's to help you identify, oh man, he is sneaky. He's very sneaky. So we need to be aware of that.
So, yes, he is very sneaky. I was thinking about something that you said about class notes. I could always release on the recordings, if you want, the notes from this that include all the Bible verses and stuff. If you guys want that, it's perfectly fine.
Moving forward, that might be a good idea.
Yeah, when we get into advanced stuff, not even for programs, but when we get into advanced stuff, like it will help you to be able to see the different verses that go through every single different portion of what we're doing. So this isn't Aaron and Mary's version of the court of heaven or what we all say. This is definitely in the word of God. It follows, and it's not like these long stretches. Yeah. I that's one of my irritations with people that go into, like, they have these long
dreamers.
Well, no, not conversation. Just like this verse correlates with this, but that verse does not correlate with what you said. Like it. So that's one of the things that kind of is weird to me, like listening to some of the things that you like to listen to. Love you dearly, but sometimes I'd be like, what? Anyways, but so just kind of some differences between, like, Bible verses here about wisdom versus foolishness. So when you're hearing somebody and you're hearing your own voice, that voice that we're talking about here, you want to make sure that you have a very clear understanding of what this voice sounds like. So Proverbs, as we all know, is wisdom. Everything in wisdom is in Proverbs. So Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So if you meet somebody who is not afraid of God, that is a problem. That is a super red flag. That should be your first identification that something is wrong. If they
healthy fear.
Yes, a healthy fear, not like fear like, oh my gosh, God is going to come down and strike me dead every time I do something wrong. That's different. I'm talking about a healthy fear of the Lord. You know, I'm not sinning because I know that God does not live where sin is.
Which means they have a healthy spirit.
Yes. You want to make sure that that's the way that you want to go, because fools despise wisdom and instruction. if they don't want to hear you, if they don't ask your opinion or want any instruction or wisdom, a lot of times stuff that Mary says, I have no idea what she's talking about, but I will never shut her down because I'm interested in wisdom and instruction. I don't know everything. So I want to hear what she has to say because she has a different perspective. I definitely can learn from a different perspective.
I learned a lot from your perspective. I agree. I get what you're saying.